Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alessandra. Today I'm going to be working with the bargain bead box from the month of December. This is not all of it. I've already made some pieces. I gave some away for the holidays, and then I have some that I will show you a little bit later on in another video. But I wanted to work on something today, at least one thing, maybe two, maybe even three. I am not sure, but I just want to try to use up my jewelry supplies because they are getting a little bit out of control. So I do want to try to use these bargain bead boxes as much as I can on their own. So let's just go ahead and make something with this. So I have some wires. I don't know which ones I'm gonna use. I'm gonna try to use the thickest that I can to connect these to these two. So let's see. I'm thinking about trying 20 gauge, but let me try it out and then I'll let you know what I used. Okay, what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to bend this and connect it with a loop. So I'm just gonna make a loop, and to make a loop, just do that. And grab your wires, grab your round nose plier, and that's what you do. Then I'm gonna try to connect it and see how this looks. Actually, first I'm going to just might as well put these on and do another loop on the side, and then we can open it up. This is 20 gauge wire, by the way. I probably could have used an 18. Try to use the thickest wire that you can get, but what we're gonna do now is do the same on the other side, and we're gonna keep this tight. And then we're gonna bend a 90-degree angle and cut a little bit of the wire. And then just do the same on the same side, the same thing that we did on the other side. So we're going to roll it and just make a loop. And this loop is way too big, so I'm just gonna adjust it until I'm happy. I could probably use a little bit more tweaking. I can never make the loops the same exact side unless I mark these, and I'm just a little bit too on the fly sometimes to do that, so don't do it. So we're going to turn these the same way but facing towards us. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay, could have probably done a little bit tighter maybe, I don't know. There you go. To make it maybe a little tighter, you can always bend them a little bit up so they're more toward each other. But you know, they're still gonna kind of move, and that's okay. Because what we're gonna try to do now is see if it works. We're going to connect them to these two. And to connect them, we just have to open each one. This is how you open it, like that. And then you just put that in, close it up, and do the same on the other side. My goal is to make quicker jewelry so I can make more, because I haven't been. I hope I put it on the same side. Okay, once you connect it, you should have something like this. Now we're gonna try to stabilize this too, and I think the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna take one of these larger beads. There were like some clearer ones that I use for other stuff, so I can't use that again. So I'm just going to do that, but I'm also gonna add some of this clear quartz beads to be on the sides, as well as a couple of these maybe. So let's just, I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so I think I want to do something like this, and I'm gonna try to maybe wire wrap a couple of times around each one if I can. So let's see. I don't know if I'll be able to do this on camera, but I'll try. And this is an 18 gauge wire, but I might have to switch to something a little smaller because sometimes like an 18 gauge is a little bit too bulky, so I might even have to go down to a 24. So let's see. So I kind of decided to wrap it like kind of massively up here. So I'm gonna try to do the same on the other side. Hopefully I can capture well on camera, and I hope I have enough wire to do that. You got to remember, this is pretty much on the fly. I don't have anything else to try, you know. This I'm just kind of trying to design quickly. and experimenting, you know, we're not really. So I'm just making it tight and just wrapping with my fingers, and then to make it a little bit more, we want to try not to have that poking out too much because we don't want to poke at our necks. I think this one I kind of, and it doesn't have to be super precise, you know, like you can try to make things precise, but it's also important to kind of go with the flow sometimes, as long as it looks nice, you know. Even if it's slightly not as precise, that's fine. What we're trying to do is just trying to stabilize these, you know. So we're just kind of pulling at the wire, tugging at the wire. We're trying to make sort of a centerpiece. And we're trying to make it to where it's not moving as much, you know. And, you know, and if you don't want to do this kind of wrapping, that's fine too. You can do something a little bit more precise than I did. You can go and just, you know, wrap very carefully. Also, these are very bendable, these two connectors, so that's nice too. So I did that, and now I'm just going to make sure that I kind of squish the wire. So I kind of flatten it up so that it becomes part of these connector. And of course, you're going to have to keep adjusting, you know, until it feels right. And pull this down. Try not to break the cords. I kind of hope I didn't break it. It just sounds like it might break. So I just want to make sure that I'm not too rough with it. So that's our centerpiece for the necklace. I think this is the best that I can do. You could try to maybe, so let's see. It's still motiony, but that's okay. It doesn't matter if it dangles. We just want some kind of a, even if this rotates once it's on the neck, it's not going to do that as much, I don't think. Of course, you have to try it once, you know. You can stop and try it on the mannequin, and that's what I might try to do and see if it works out. Okay, so you should have something like this. What I did, I went ahead and adjusted these a little bit, and then I took a chasing hammer and a bench block, and I lightly hammered it so, you know, the wires wouldn't move anymore. And then this is still going to spin a little bit, but to me, that's okay. Might readjust it later, I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to leave it like that, or maybe I'll just put some really thin wire on both sides and wire wrap it to keep it steady. But that's a decision that I want to make at the end after I'm done with everything and after I hang my necklace. Because sometimes you can't know until you're done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use these quartz rounds, and I'm going to use this Softflex wire in bone, and I'm going to string them, and I'm going to make two pieces, and I'm going to directly connect them on both sides. Let's see, this is about 2.5 inches, and I want to make my necklace about 16 inches. So we're gonna have to have, you know, 2.5, subtract that. So you want another 14 or so inches on each side. So you want to do maybe like, let's see, just to have extra wire, because I think it is more important, maybe do about 9 on each side, 9 or 10 inches. Because you have to take into account the connection and the bending. The reason I'm using this one is because I want to connect it directly here and I don't want to use anything else. I think this is a beautiful wire just to see through. And I'm actually going to see how much I can connect with these because it might not make it to 14 inches. And what I'm going to do is that chain. So let's just do that. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I did one side. I'm going to show you how to do the other side. You just loop it through, like right here, and you just put one of this number 2 tubes. I don't have the ones from Softflex. I have the ones from Beadalon, and I find that they work just fine. You don't have to have everything one brand. The ones from Softflex are stronger and they're more high quality, but for the purpose of this particular video, I think we'll be all right using these. So. And I'm gonna do about the same thing. I'm just gonna try to, you know, slide this down a little bit and just adjust. Make sure that the wires don't cross and try to make sure that they don't cross. It's kind of hard, like they were crossed right now, so I just want to try to keep them separated. And put it really close to this, but not too close. You still want to have a little bit of movement. And then you're going to crimp. And here's how you crimp. You just go into between the two, just squish, Go a little bit down, keep squishing because this is kind of long. And then you take this to kind of reshape it into a more round cylinder. And you don't want to like squeeze really hard, you're just squeezing gently. You just want to make sure that these hold up. And now we're going to string. I'll be back with everything strung on here so you can see the sequence. Okay, so you should have this strung on both sides. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and make loops here the same way I did before over here and just crimp. Make sure that when you crimp these, you leave a little bit of slack so that the necklace can move. So don't put it too tight, but not too loose either. You wanna have a little bit of movement, but not too much. And I'll be right back and I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, so I went ahead and crimped my two ends, and at this point the necklace reaches from here to here about 6 inches on each side, so I know that it's about 12 and I want it to be 16, so I probably need about 2 inches of chain on each side. So I'm going to use the chain that came with the box. And what I'm going to do, I don't think this is a chain that you can open and close easily, so we're going to use some jump rings to connect it. I have like a little thing of jump rings here. I can put it in the links below if you want to know where to get it. I think I'm going to use the smallest that I can. These are the smallest that they have, and let's see if that works. So to open a jump ring, you'll need two things. You'll need the flat nose pliers and the chain nose pliers, or two flat nose pliers and two chain nose pliers. The most important thing is that you never pull them apart. You always just do this movement, and then you connect. I'm gonna go directly work from this chain and see if this fits. Fortunately, it does. So these are really tiny jump rings. These are either 3 or 4 millimeters. I would say probably 4. I think you can get away with 5, maybe 6, but then I'm scared that it would be a little bit too much. You want to kind of be a continuation of this. So I like to maybe measure it. We said about 2.5, maybe. Let's see. Let's just measure from here, from the end. That makes it to 18 about there. So I'm gonna cut the chain about there. And one thing that you could do is actually the easiest way to do it is just get the length of chain from both sides and connect it, and then hang the necklace and cut it in the middle. I didn't do it this time. So now I'll just have to make sure that I do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll connect the clasp. Okay, then I'm going to connect the clasp, and I'm going to use some jump rings again. And I think I'm going to use the size that is just a little bigger, just because this clasp looks a little bit bigger than that chain. So we'll just use 2 of those, and we're going to do the same thing. Just open a jump ring like I showed you and connect the clasp. Hopefully this is a big enough jump ring. I might have to go with something a little bigger. We'll see. Honestly, I can't ever tell which size the clasp should go on. So I really cannot tell you. If you know, just tell me in the comments below, because I really don't know. I think if you're right-handed, left-handed, it all depends. Then just add the second toggle clasp. Honestly, I know that toggle clasp is supposed to be kind of great for bracelet, and I think they're okay, but they are not my favorite. I always think they're better for necklaces. They're easier to put on that way. So let's see. Should fit like that. So you could stop right there, but I want to go a little bit further, and I'm gonna add some charms. Because originally I wanted to add these right here, and you could still use these that came in the box easily. And you can add head pins and then just make loops. The problem with that is that they're gonna twist a lot. So I think what I'm gonna use instead is these charms that the Beadbox Bargain sent me when I made my last order. You might have seen them. So this is a little bit easier for me. So I'm gonna do this instead, and we're gonna embellish it so we can make it sort of a snowflake necklace. And I'm just gonna connect it with jump rings, and I'll be right back. Okay, and I just wanted to show you guys real quick if you want to attach these. And you know, you can do that with these as well. You just have to add a head pin and then make a loop, and then you open the loop like a jump ring, and you can just attach it. If you want to do something different, if you don't have the snowflakes or anything like that, I just think that the snowflakes worked better for this necklace in my opinion, but that's a design choice as always. So just close your jump ring, make sure they meet up really well. Go even a little past and a little back. I like to do that. So it's nice and closed. And here's our necklace. Let's see if I can zoom out so you can actually see it. Okay. So that's our necklace right there. With lots of charm, and I'll put pictures up so you can see how it looks hung at the end of the video. But yeah, another thing that you can do, I think I have one little quartz left here, so I think I'm gonna go grab a head pin and just dangle it maybe on here, and maybe put another charm connected to it, or maybe I can show you how you make a dangle with this. How about that? So we know how to do it. Okay, so let's make a dangle so you have the option of making these here instead of you know, using these that you might not have. I am going to use this little bead because that's what I have left over, but if you don't have that, just use anything else, or you don't even have to. You can just make the charm just with this if you want to. But I'm gonna put actually, let's see, maybe a spacer. I don't think it's gonna work. See if it works. Maybe, maybe not. That would be cute. I was also thinking about using some of this filigree because I never really use. I think this is not gonna work though because I think it's gonna be too big. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I never use these bead caps, guys. I don't really like bead caps. See, I don't like that either. So I'm just gonna take it off. I'm probably going to do a giveaway at some point, and there's gonna be bead caps in it because I just don't use bead caps. I really rarely use bead caps at all. But anyways, let's just go ahead and so that I can show you, just hold that. Just bend your head pins at a 90-degree angle. Then just cut some of it, depending on how big you want to do your loop. I'm going to cut it about here. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm just going to roll the wire towards me. And I'm going to slide it down so that I can make it meet. And you're trying to be as precise as you can so there's no gaps or anything. Now, if you want to add this, you could add it directly to this jump ring, and I'll open this jump ring, and you can also add another jump ring, so you could directly add it to the clasp. I think I'm going to add it to the jump ring this time, so I'm just gonna reopen my jump ring over here. And if it's too tight, then I'll move it to the clasp. But I kind of want this to be quick and easy, so I'm just going to, you know, open my jump rings like we opened our jump rings before, and just close it back up, and it's now attached close to the clasp, not on the clasp, but so that we have a little dangle if we want to have one. And let's see. So let me zoom out. Sorry about that. And maybe I zoomed out a little bit too much. But here's our necklace. Let me move out all this junk out of the way. I'm a bit of a messy beater. I'm not super, You know, like some people have these beautiful videos that are super clear. Maybe I'll get there one day. My brain doesn't work that way. My brain just kind of, you know, adjust as it goes, adjust things as it goes. It's just, I don't know if it's an ADD thing or just my personality, but that's how it is. So here's our necklace. And I'll let you see it later on mannequin. I'll take pictures, but I think it turned out really cute. And this reminds me a little bit of Elsa, doesn't it? I kind of want to call it the Elsa necklace. I might end up calling it that. But that's it for this video. I just want to make a short one. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content and you want more tutorials upcoming, albeit slowly, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time. And I hope you have a great time creating this necklace or other things with your bargain bead box. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.